for the most part, I will try to answer them as I go along, but if I can't, then my apologies. Okay, so let's get started. 5 simple ways to boost your metabolism and get rid of belly fat for good. So the training agenda today is as follows. We're going to talk about if your metabolism is really the reason why you can't lose weight. We will talk about why your metabolism is slower than slow. 5 simple strategies that you can start using right now, right away, to get your metabolism working at a higher level. I'll go over quickly 6 things to stop doing. And at the end, as always, I'll go over a little bit of information about the Belly Fat Fix, which is the 16-week coaching program that I offer. So why you should listen to me. I'm the founder of a company called Tiara Nutrition and a program called the Belly Fat Fix. And I'm an expert in weight loss for older men. And I'm also an expert in metabolism. So I really spend all my time working on helping my clients really optimize their metabolism and deal with the root cause of why they've gained weight in the first place so that they can keep weight off for good. So bits and pieces of the ideas I'll share with you are probably things you've heard before, but almost no one gets it right when it comes to working with men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, because things are definitely a little bit different for you guys. So as always, in this training, I'm going to really try and transform the way that you look at losing weight. I'm going to try and transform the way you look at, what your metabolism is and what your metabolism does, and what is really possible if you have a powerful, well working metabolism. It is kind of like a machine. It needs to be taken care of so that it can work at an optimal level. So I really want to show you also, how you can finally achieve weight loss for good so that you don't have to think about losing weight for the rest of your life. So I'm going to ask you, what is metabolism? If I asked you that question, would you know the answer? Metabolism is one of the most basic things that your body does. So on the most basic level, metabolism is a process that your body uses to convert the food you eat and the water you drink for immediate use or to be stored for later. It is the foundation of your body's basic functioning to live. It makes your body smart in times of crisis. So, for example, if you were in a period of starvation, as our hunter and gatherer ancestors were sometimes, it would definitely conserve your energy. It would slow your metabolism would slow down so that you could survive. Okay. And it's really important to understand that your body is very smart, right? So in that situation where you're starving, it's going to conserve energy, but it also really, your metabolism will also make your body malfunction if you're not eating enough, or if you're not eating enough of the right types of food. Your lungs, your brain, and heart all need the energy that is generated by your metabolism. So it's not just your muscles that need the energy that your metabolism produces. Your heart, lungs, brain, your organs, your whole body really needs this energy. If your metabolism is not working properly, your metabolism will store energy as fat. So if your metabolism's functioning at a low level, if your metabolism is slow, it will not be able to use the food and the water that you consume effectively and turn it into the energy that you need. Okay, so it really, or not turn it into, but use the energy that you create by eating. So if your metabolism is not working well, your metabolism will store energy as fat, which is why, you might be carrying extra weight. And you can figure out if your metabolism is not working well by looking at these following things. Your metabolism's not working well if you're struggling with weight loss, if it's just really hard to lose weight, if you gain weight easily, if your weight fluctuates a lot, if you have reduced your portions, if you watch your calories, exercise regularly, and you still cannot lose weight, if you lose weight but you gain it back really quickly and easily, if weight accumulates around your belly and your waist, if you have energy slumps during the day, if you need pick-me-up snacks like coffee and sugar, sugary stuff to get you through the day, if you have cravings that are hard to resist, and if you feel hungry even after you've had a good meal, those are all signs that your metabolism is not functioning the way it should. So, four things that are slowing your metabolism down are these four things: calorie restriction, messed up hormones, low muscle mass, and increased inflammation. So, those are the four things that are slowing your metabolism down. All right. And low calorie diets are one of the biggest culprits when it comes to a slow metabolism. Low calorie diets slow down your metabolism. They cause you to lose muscle mass, they mess with your hormones, and they promote stress and inflammation in your body. Low calorie diets cause your metabolism to slow down. I can't say this enough times. I know that everybody tells you, lower your calories, calorie restriction is the way to lose weight. But doing that, lowering your calories is going to slow down your metabolism. So this causes your body to release less energy at a time so that you can survive longer. So your body goes into a survival mode and it holds on to the resources that it has, which is why you might be, on a low calorie diet and you may have hit a plateau, or you may have not even lost any weight, but your weight's not going anywhere, even though you are restricting your calories like crazy. It's because calorie restriction, if you go too far with it, will slow down your metabolism. So conventional diets, all of them focus on calorie restriction. I've got a list here. I can name them off. It doesn't matter what the name of the diet you're doing is. It matters if it's focusing on reducing portion sizes, on reducing caloric intake, on fasting too much, all of these things. All of those things can make your metabolism slower. Okay. Restricting calories leads to less muscle mass. Restricting calories leads to messed up hormones. And restricting calories leads to more inflammation in your body. Okay. And if you have low muscle mass, if you have messed up hormones, and you have increased inflammation in your body, you are going to have a slower metabolism. So, more muscle mass, balanced hormones, and low inflammation equals a powerful metabolism. So as you can see, all of those diets and restricting your calories uh, is really causing a huge problem when it comes to your metabolism. So I know it's hard to wrap your head around the fact that eating fewer calories and exercising more isn't going to get you lasting weight loss. Hey, Vinny, I'm sure, everybody's told you that you need to restrict calories to lose weight. So I get it. You've been told by your doctor, you've been told by your local gym, you've been told by other programs you've done that calories in equals calories out. You've been told that it's your fault that you're overweight, that it's your fault that you have diabetes, that it's your fault that you've got, chronic health problems because you eat too much, you don't exercise enough, or you're not eating the right things. The standard advice really on the internet, the advice from weight loss clinics and the advice from weight loss programs and even from doctors is to keep calories as low as possible to lose weight. And there's conflicting information everywhere, and it's really hard to know what's true and what's not true. So please understand that I understand why you guys, have in your head that you have to restrict calories. And I know it's hard for you to, maybe believe what I'm telling you, that actually, eating more calories and making sure your body's getting the food that it needs is the key to weight loss, especially if you're an older man. But, let me ask you a question. Does everybody that you know who eats less and exercises more lose weight and keep it off? And if eating less and exercising more and calories in equal calories out were true, that should really mean that 100% of people who count their calories and who get their exercise should be thin and healthy. But the reality is something completely different. The reality is that you can double down and count every single calorie you put in your mouth. And I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this know that. And you could even starve yourself and work out like a madman every single day, and you might still never reach your weight loss goals, because eat less, exercise more does not work. And I just want to show you these examples of plates, because these are my plates of food. I'm 5'8". I weigh 145 pounds. I'm a woman. this is, I'm not like doing some crazy physical job. Obviously, I sit at my computer a lot. I do walk. I do, a little bit of strength training, but this is like a normal dinner for me. Okay. So if you're a guy and you're like 6 feet tall or you're 5'11" and you're doing a physical job and your meals 3 times a day are not looking like this, you're probably not eating enough food. This is one of my dinners again. These are some lunches and dinners of some of my clients. So you really have to ask yourself, if you're on a calorie restricted diet, if that's something you can do for the rest of your life, because that's what I ask my clients all the time. Could you eat food like this for the rest of your life? And that is one of the most important things when it comes to any kind of diet or weight loss program that you're going to go on to. But this is also the most important thing when it comes to your metabolism, is that you are feeding your body the food that it needs. Okay. If you're eating like a tiny salad with half a chicken breast on it for lunch, that's not what your body needs if you are a man. Okay. So again, here are some of the ways you can tell if your metabolism is messed up. If you're getting sugar cravings all the time, if you are tired or fatigued after you eat, if you have loss of muscle strength, so you don't feel as strong as you once did, if you've got aches and pains, if you've got belly fat, if you're stressed, if you've got poor quality sleep, metabolic syndrome, which is things like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, if you are just tired in general, if you're constantly hungry, and if you are not able to lose weight, those are all very clear signs that there are some problems with your metabolism. Okay. And problems with your metabolism really mean that you have some level of insulin resistance. So if you're watching this and you're diabetic, that you have problems with insulin. Your cells can't use or are insulin resistant. However, even if you've never been diagnosed with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, if you are carrying extra weight, especially around the midsection, you have some level of insulin resistance. You can have problems with insulin resistance for 10 years before it shows up on a blood test. Okay. So all of these signs we just talked about, um, those are signs also that that you have insulin resistance. Okay, so basically resistance looks like this. You eat food, whatever food you eat will increase your blood sugar. Some increase your blood sugar more than others, but no matter what you eat, your blood sugar is going to increase. Then insulin is released. Your pancreas releases insulin to lower your blood sugar. And if you have insulin resistance, your cells then resist insulin and your blood sugar stays high. It stays elevated. And then excess sugar that's in your blood is going to get stored as fat because it really needs to get into your cells, but your cells are resisting it. It's in your bloodstream. It has to go somewhere. So it gets stored as fat. And as it gets stored as fat, your blood sugar will drop and then you'll be tired. You'll have like an afternoon slump, or even in the morning, mid-morning slump, and that will trigger cravings for you to eat more food. Sometimes it'll trigger cravings for you to eat, or most of the time, something sugary, something starchy. Okay. So insulin really unlocks the cells so glucose can get into them and get converted into energy. So insulin is like a key. So the key goes into the cell, it turns, and then all this glucose or the sugar in your blood can get into the cell. So if you have insulin resistance, what's really happening is your cells are saying, I'm good, no thanks. We don't want that sugar. We don't need it. And then insulin has no choice but to take that sugar that's in your bloodstream and to store it as fat. So that is basically a slow metabolism. So when you say I have a slow metabolism, this is what you're talking about. You have insulin resistance. Your cells are not able to use the food that you eat as energy. Okay. Um, Anyway, that can seem a little bit complicated. I'm always, always, always happy to explain that to you in more detail. I have other slides as well and other trainings. So if you want to learn more about insulin resistance, you can just write insulin resistance in the comments, and I'll reach out to you. We can always get on a Zoom, or I can send you, other trainings that have more detail. I'm not going to go into it too much more than that today. But what I want to do now is just go through 5 simple strategies that you can use to power up your metabolism. And I want to say first that these might seem really simple, but these are um, these are very, very effective. These are the things that you need to start doing first. Okay. It's the back to basic approach that I use. And really, if you want to fix your metabolism, you have to go back to basics. It's just the reality. Okay. So, number one, the first the first strategy that you can start using right now, today, whenever it is the next time you eat, you can start doing this, is just to eat to balance your blood sugar. So, balanced blood sugar is really the key to a strong metabolism. If you have balanced blood sugar, your cells are able to use the food that you eat, the sugar in your bloodstream for energy, and it starts sort of fixing all of the metabolic damage, all of the damage that you've done to your metabolism over the years. So, the key to a strong metabolism and lasting weight loss is balanced blood sugar. And the key to balancing your blood sugar is food. There is no way that you can balance your blood sugar other than by eating the right food. Please understand that food is the key. So blood sugar really is regulated by the foods that you choose to eat. And these are foods that your 50 or 40, 50 or 60-year-old male body needs to function at a high level. And you can really do this by changing what, how, and when you eat food in a long-term eating approach. So please understand, men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who want to lose weight, which is you guys, need to eat to balance their blood sugar. Okay. It's not about eating less. It's not about, burning more calories. It's not about only exercising more. The key really is to balance your blood sugar through the food that you eat. Okay. And yes, exercise is important. I'm not going to tell you not to exercise. Yes, it's really helpful if you can do some weight training and you can lift some heavy things. But the first and the most important thing when it comes to getting this weight loss journey started is to balance your blood sugar. That's the key to starting to fix your metabolism. This is what needs to be done. You can't do it any other way. All right. And this is a golden rule. This is the rule that I'll tell you if you get on a Zoom call with me. This is the rule that I tell my clients all the time, is that you need to combine protein, fat, fiber, and carbs every time you eat. And carbs, you can take them or leave them sometimes, but really the most important ones are protein, fat, and fiber. Okay. But if you are eating carbs, you definitely want the other three. So protein digests really slowly and it increases your metabolism. It makes you feel full. Okay. And it helps you build muscle, which, as a man in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you should be concerned about. You want to have good levels of muscle mass. Fats are really important because they digest slowly. They're really nutrient dense. They don't have a lot of effect on blood sugar. Okay. And fiber helps keep your blood sugar stable as well. It aids in weight loss. It makes you feel full too. Carbs, carbs are fine. You need some carbs. I'm not an advocate of cutting carbs out completely, but you need to be careful how you eat them. You need to be careful what carbs you eat. They digest really quickly. They turn into sugar really fast. They can spike your blood sugar, but they are the preferred source of energy for the body, okay? Because everything you eat turns into sugar. All right, so you need to choose the right foods and then you will lose weight the right way. You will fix your metabolism and you'll start seeing the weight come off. You need to eat food that balances your blood sugar. Whole foods combined in the right way will keep your blood sugar stable. Food that balances hormones, so testosterone, cortisol, and metabolic hormones like insulin are balanced with food. Not testosterone, but testosterone is really affected by the other hormones in your system. So, if you've got a lot of belly fat, if you've got fat around your midsection, that belly fat is actually making your testosterone lower. That belly fat is actually releasing an enzyme that's turning testosterone into estrogen in your body. Okay, so your metabolism is really balanced by the food you eat. Okay, and hormones like insulin and glucagon and hormones that are really important when it comes to your metabolism working at a high level are only balanced with food. And you really, really need to learn as a man what food to eat to maintain muscle mass. So you need to learn what foods to eat and when to eat them to maintain muscle mass. You have to eat protein, yes, but it has to be eaten at certain times, and you have to make sure you're getting enough of it. Okay. So basically, this is how your food affects how the food you eat affects blood sugar. So when we're talking about balancing your blood sugar, you want to make sure that you're combining in that golden rule I talked about carbohydrates, protein, and fat together. Okay. If you eat a carb by itself, you can see your blood sugar will spike. We want to keep your blood sugar balanced. So if you eat, for example, an apple with a handful of nuts, that is going to keep your blood sugar more stable. All right. It's not going to spike up like that. So balance your blood sugar is strategy number one. And then when you do that, you're eating a right balance of food for, a man in his 40s, 50s, or 60s, your blood sugar is going to stay stable. Your body will release glucagon, which is the opposite of insulin, and glucagon will turn your stored fat cells into energy. Your metabolism will be functioning at a high level, and then the cycle continues. And then you have a high functioning metabolism instead of a metabolism that is broken. Okay, number two, the second strategy to get your metabolism functioning at a higher level is to avoid excess carbs. And like I said, we're not going to cut out all carbs, but you want to avoid excess carbs and things like ice cream and donuts and muffins and cookies and a lot of bread, especially white bread. Those are excess carbs. All right, so I'm just going to give you a list of things you can swap out after I go through this. I just want to talk a little bit about what the problem is with too many carbs. So basically, all carbs are broken down into sugar, and your body stores extra sugar as fat. And I'm going to just explain quickly how too many carbs contributes to belly fat. So when you eat too many carbs or you choose processed carbs or processed foods, sugary carbs, like I just mentioned, donuts, muffins, cookies, cereals, you really raise your blood sugar levels too high. Okay. And this causes too much insulin. And then you get insulin resistance, which we talked about. And then that leads to weight gain. So basically, when your body can't use the carbs that you eat as fuel, they inevitably get stored as fat. Okay. And it spikes your blood sugar. And when we're talking about, strategy one, which is keep your blood sugar balanced, we really have to tone down the number of carbs we're eating to keep our blood sugar balanced. Okay. So here are some swaps that you guys can do. If you're eating oatmeal, that's really high in carbs. So you could switch that oatmeal for an omelet. And you can add carbs to that omelet. Vegetables are actually carbohydrates, so you can add onions, mushrooms, spinach, whatever you want. Wheat pasta, that is a lot of carbs. Obviously, you can use zucchini noodles. You could use spaghetti squash instead. Sometimes for when we're having pasta at my house, I've got young kids and they definitely eat the pasta, the wheat pasta. I usually will pour the sauce over a bed of zucchini or broccoli or whatever other vegetables we're having that night. You can swap a granola bar for nuts and seeds. Instead of having some crackers, you could have beef jerky. Chips are really high in carbs. You can switch those out for some veggies and dip. Ice cream, obviously, a very sugary carb, delicious, but you can switch that out for some plain yogurt and berries. And if you like muffins, you could switch that for a protein shake. Okay, so that's how you that's how you get rid of excess carbs in your diet, is just make some easy swaps. Okay. Number three, third strategy is to increase healthy fat in your diet. So when you cut back on carbs, you really need to replace the calories that you were getting from carbs. If you don't eat enough calories, your body will go into starvation mode and make weight loss difficult. So if you're an active guy, depending on your height, your weight, you need a certain amount of calories to for your body to function optimally. It's just how many calories you need. And you really don't want to starve yourself, because if you're starving yourself, you're not getting enough calories, your metabolism will slow down. But not only that, you will be hungry. Okay. When you're craving things during the day, say you had lunch and 2 hours later you're craving stuff, that means that you've not gotten enough food, from from breakfast until that moment. So when you're hungry, your willpower will be at an all-time low and cravings will kick in. So you definitely need to replace the lost calories from carbs that you cut back on with healthy fat. Healthy fat is really good for your hormones. It's really good for your metabolism. It'll help your blood sugar stay stable. Um, and well, I mean, healthy fat is delicious. I'm going to go through a list here, swap this for that. So if you're doing like a low fat salad dressing or something that doesn't have any fat in it, or you're even eating your salad without any dressing, you can swap that for olive oil with balsamic vinegar. Um, Olive oil is a really healthy fat, and actually, balsamic vinegar has been proven in studies to help reduce blood sugar spikes. So that'll also help with strategy number one, which is balance your blood sugar. You can swap low fat yogurt for full fat yogurt. Instead of having a brownie, you could have dark chocolate and nuts. Instead of having toast and jam, you could have toast with an avocado. Instead of having a low granola and a low calorie granola bar, you could have nut seeds and a couple pieces of dark chocolate. Quote unquote low fat popcorn. You could have a handful of olives and maybe a couple pieces of cheese or some meat. And if you have no fat cottage cheese, you can swap that for 2% or full fat cottage cheese. So I know that, fat food with fat in it has been vilified in the media and by doctors, but that's been completely disproven. Eating fat in your diet does not make you fat. Excess carbs will make you fat. Fat will not make you fat. Okay. So number 4 is to reduce stress. And I know you probably maybe feel like, your metabolism doesn't have a lot to do with how stressed you are, but it actually does. When your body experiences stress and inflammation, cortisol, which is your stress hormone, levels rise, and sugar is released into your bloodstream to prepare for fight or flight. So, using a sort of like another caveman example, if you were you were getting chased by a lion, or you were standing there doing something and you saw a lion and you got afraid, your body is going to flood your system, or your body's going to flood your blood with sugar so that your muscles have immediate energy so that you can actually run away from that tiger. Okay. So the problem with that is really that it leads to unstable blood sugar. Your blood sugar gets high. Your body needs to do something with that blood, like we looked at the beginning. And if your cells are resistant to insulin, all that sugar that's in your bloodstream because of stress is going to be stored as fat as well. Okay. So really, you need to deal with stress. If you are under a lot of stress and you seem to be doing everything right when it comes to, weight loss and diet and all those things, it could really be the stress that's causing you problems. Okay. And it's basically the same as eating not optimal food. If you have stress, your blood sugar increases, the insulin is released to lower blood sugar. And then again, your cells resist insulin, your blood sugar stays elevated, the excess sugar stored as fat, then you have a feeling of exhaustion, and then you can have another stress response. Okay, so it can cause you to, especially around the midsection, hold on to weight. It's called stress fat. A lot of people call it that, and it's a real thing. Okay, so you have to deal with stress. So, ways that you can reduce stress are avoiding processed food and eating real whole foods. Okay, because eating crappy food, and I say crappy, but I mean eating processed foods, eating sugary foods puts stress on your body. For example, even if you have oatmeal in the morning, that bowl of oatmeal actually causes a stress response in your body, or a bowl of cereal. Whereas if you had something like bacon and eggs, or an omelet, it's not going to cause a stress response in your body. So eating real whole foods, really being careful about what you eat, how you eat, and when you eat, and how you combine your food can really reduce stress in your body. If it's an external stress like work or, life, family, you can do these other things. You can go for a walk. Even a short walk can lower your stress hormones. So cortisol is your stress hormone. Going for a walk in nature, but even just getting out and going for a 20-minute or a 30-minute walk anywhere can lower your cortisol levels. okay, and can help reduce stress. When you are experiencing a stressful situation, you can also do a deep breathing exercise. And, it seems a little bit new age or whatever, but it actually really works. You breathe in through your nose for a count of five, hold your breath for a count of five, and breathe out for a count of five. That can really just help your nervous system calm down and help reduce your stress response. Okay, so it's really, really important when we're talking about metabolism, we're talking about losing weight, that you do things to reduce your stress. And number five is to increase daily movement. And I'm not saying here, increase exercise, because really, if you are at a point right now where you're sedentary, or you're at a point right now where you are unable to exercise because you've been in an accident or because you have some health problem that's causing you to not be able to exercise, that's okay. You can lose weight and optimize your metabolism by the food that you eat, and you can also increase daily movement to whatever point you can. Okay, so for example, if you can't, like, say you have bad knees and you are unable to walk right now, you can do some resistance band exercises. Like when you're sitting on the couch watching TV, you can just do pull downs, you can do bicep curls, anything like that. That will increase your daily movement. You could stretch for 5 minutes. When you first get out of bed, spend 5 minutes stretching. Take 5-minute breaks during your day to stretch. You can move while brushing your teeth. Everybody brushes their teeth in the morning or at some point, I think, anyway. My 9-year-old definitely tries to get out of that one, but I'm assuming all of you brush your teeth. So while you're brushing your teeth, which is, usually 2 minutes long, you can do squats. You can, yeah, I mean, squats are a good one, actually, while you're brushing your teeth. So that's another way that you can just add movement to your morning. You could walk to get your coffee. If you usually get your coffee at a coffee shop, you could walk there instead of driving. You can park further away if you're going to the doctor, if you're going to the grocery store, wherever you are. Take the farthest parking spot just so that you get a few extra steps in. If you're working, if you're sitting at a desk, definitely setting a timer can help. I'm really, really bad at this one, adding movement into my workday. I get sitting at my desk and then I just don't get up and do anything for hours at a time. So I've started to set a timer, and I just get up, every hour I get up and take 5 minutes, walk around, do something every little while. If you're sitting at a desk, you could use a fitness tracker to track your steps. Take the stairs. If you're working in an office building, instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. If you take the subway, same. Take a walk on your lunch break. So it doesn't take, usually a full 30 minutes or hour to eat your lunch. Even if you're working from home, even if you're not working, if you're retired, just lunchtime can be a really good time to take a walk, even for 30 minutes. After you eat lunch, go for a walk for 30 minutes. Okay, so it's movement can just sort of be built in your day. It doesn't have to be some, big event. Um, Adding movement in at home can be as simple as cooking a home cooked meal. If you're cooking in the kitchen, you're moving around, all right? And, so that can have a lot of great effects. You're getting more movement and you're also making home cooked meals. You can turn cleaning into exercise. Vacuuming is actually a lot of work. It's a good workout. Cleaning mirrors, washing floors, all those things will give you more movement in a day. Like I said, make TV time more active. You can do that very easily with resistance bands. And that's a really easy way to not only build a little bit of muscle, but, make your TV time a little bit more active and get more daily movement. And go for a walk. I mean, that one you can do anytime. Don't make it complicated. Walking is really easy. Like, you just have to put your shoes on and you need to walk out the front door. And even if that's just walking around the block 3 times, or even to start one time, that's better than nothing. Listening to music while you're going for a walk can make it more interesting, or even, making some phone calls. Sometimes when I go for a walk, I call my dad. We talk for half an hour while I'm going for my walk. It's nice. So those really are the strategies, the first things that you need to do if you are trying to get your metabolism working better. If you're coming from a place where your metabolism, is really not working, if you're suffering from any chronic illness like diabetes and high blood pressure, high cholesterol, if you're carrying a lot of extra weight, those are the 5 strategies that I recommend. Okay, but these are 6 things that you really need to stop doing, and you've probably heard them before if you've watched any of my trainings. You really need to stop focusing on cutting calories and cutting fat, especially healthy fat, out of your diet. Obviously, bad fats are not good. So fried foods and takeout foods and vegetable oils, things like that. That's not good for you. But cutting calories just as a general rule and cutting healthy fats and just trying to get the calories that you're eating as low as possible is something you should stop doing. Number 2 is do not go on a diet or choose a weight loss program that doesn't put your health first. If you don't know what that means, like if you don't understand what putting your health first means when it comes to diet or weight loss program, please, please, please book a Zoom call with me or a phone call with me, and you can tell me about what you're thinking about trying to do or what you've been doing, and I can tell you if that program or that strategy is going to put your health first. Um, you don't have to want to work with me, nothing like that, but I can help you determine if whatever you're going to try to do is putting your health first. Number 3 is if you're fasting for long periods and not getting the results you want, it's really time to stop fasting. Fasting can be beneficial sometimes, more and more times than not. I really see fasting causing men, especially as you're getting older, if you're in your 50s or 60s, to not help at all when it comes to weight loss and muscle mass and all these things. So if you're not getting the results you want, if you're not losing weight with fasting, please ask yourself why you're doing it. It's probably not beneficial. Number 4 is to stop trying to lose weight without support. That doesn't have to be me. That can be, other people that you know who are on the same journey. It can be a friend at work. It can be your spouse. It can be anybody. It can just even be this group. Just find people who are sort of going through the same thing that you're going so that you have support, because it just makes it easier. And when you're sort of feeling like you don't have that much motivation, you can have somebody to sort of push you along and encourage you to keep going. Number 5 is stop relying on willpower alone to lose your belly fat. If you're getting cravings for sugary stuff, in the morning, at night, it probably means that you're not getting what you need during the day. So don't just think that, oh, you don't have enough willpower to push through it. It probably has a lot less to do with willpower and a lot more to do with the fact that you're not getting what you need. So just don't feel like you're just like weak and you don't have enough willpower and that's why you keep giving into your cravings. There are other reasons for it, and I'm going to tell you right now, people start working with me and they cannot believe after even 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even sooner that they just don't have cravings anymore. Those cravings go away. Okay, so stop beating yourself up for not being able to lose weight. That kind of goes along with what I just said. It's probably not um, it's not some defect in you. It's just that you do not know what to eat and how to eat to actually fix your metabolism and lose weight. So don't beat yourself up. Okay. I'm just going to go over this really quickly because I'm kind of gone longer than I thought I would. 40 minutes in already. So this is the program I offer. It's 16 weeks long. It's definitely a program that all men can understand. It's very simple. Okay, it's simple. It's straightforward. It's sustainable, and people get success on it. Even people who don't cook, or even if you have a family, all these things. It's very, very easy to implement in your life. And also, I work with you to make sure that it fits into your specific circumstances, whatever they are. There's no calorie counting. There's no calorie restriction, no macro counting, no feeling hungry, no bland, tasteless food. Like I always joke that, I love chicken with the skin on it. So there's no chance that I'm going to tell you, like, you need to eat plain rice and chicken breast all day long. I would never eat that. So no. Also, we talked about it. Healthy fat's not going to make you fat. So there's no bland, tasteless food. There's no extreme workouts unless you want to do them. I mean, all the power to you. If you want to, you can get really fast weight loss if you're doing weight training as well. But um, fast and healthy, but it's not necessary, it really isn't. And you don't have to eliminate entire food groups. So there's step-by-step guidance, personalized approach, personalized meal planning, an online course, coaching. We meet once a week as a group, and then there's private coaching as well as needed. There's accountability. Obviously, I'm going to keep you accountable, but also the other guys in the program keep each other accountable. There's the community, and there's help from me whenever you need it. That's, by text message, or if you need to get on the phone with me, or you're at the grocery store and you don't know what protein powder to buy. If you're not sure if you're eating the right things and you want to send me pictures of your meals for, entire week, whatever you need, I'm there. That's why this program works. It's just because it's very high touch. There's a lot of communication back and forth with me, and that's really why you're going to get results. Okay, so really the program will give you a strong metabolism. And when you have a strong metabolism, you will not have cravings. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be stronger, no more belly fat, no more aches and pains. You can really become a fat burning machine. That's the goal. Your stress will be reduced. You'll sleep better. You can, for sure, depending on what you're willing to put in, reduce your need for medications for high cholesterol, blood pressure, and diabetes. I also have some people who get off those medications and reverse their diabetes and all of those chronic conditions. So that's all very possible. You won't be tired anymore. You're not going to be feeling hungry all the time. And you're going to lose the weight. You're going to feel fantastic, basically. Okay, and there are a couple pictures. That's my friend Dave, one of my clients, Alan, who's lost, I think, I can't remember the last number. It's 45 pounds he's lost in the last 6 months. And actually Alan's done that all without cooking. He doesn't cook. The only thing I think he's cooked is sweet potato in the microwave, but he eats all whole foods and has completely fixed his metabolism, and he doesn't cook. So like I said, whatever your circumstances, I will definitely work with you to meet you where you are at. And this program is really doable, no matter who you are, no matter what your eating habits are, what your knowledge of nutrition or cooking is, as long as you're willing to put in the work and you know that it takes time. Takes time to fix your metabolism. It takes time to really deal with your health from the inside out. As long as you're committed to that process, I will make sure you get results. Okay, this is another client, Dan. He lost 100 pounds in a year. And yeah, he reversed his diabetes, no longer on medication for diabetes, cholesterol, and high blood pressure. So anything's really possible. It doesn't have to be painful. My clients definitely don't think it's painful. And, like this client said, I started this journey and I can honestly say it doesn't feel like work. It simply becomes a new way of life. And that's really the goal. This is a long-term eating approach. This is a way that you can eat for the rest of your life. Okay, so um, that's it for today. And I'm going to, if anyone has questions, I don't think that many people are on here live right now, but if you have questions, I will answer them now.